Several months ago, I made a video about how to manage TeslaCam and Sentry mode video from mobile devices, but that video ended up being mostly about Android because iPhones just weren't there yet. Well, since then, several things have changed. iOS 13 came out and Tesla has made some changes with software updates. So here's the video I promised about iPhone. Since Tesla has made software updates since then, let's go over what TeslaCam and Sentry mode even are. And you can jump to this time if you want to get to the hardware that I'm using for iPhone, or this time if you just want to jump to the software. When this support page was published, it was originally just the front camera. But since then, they've now added 2 side cameras and then later the rear camera, for a total of 4 now. To enable recording, you still need to connect a specially formatted storage drive to either of most Tesla's front USB ports. I say most because S and X, built before August 2017, don't have all the needed hardware, but all Model 3s do. While you're driving, the car will continuously record and overwrite a 1-hour loop of video. It saves these in a folder called Recent Clips. If something happens when you're driving that you don't want to get overwritten, you can tap the icon on the screen to save a 10-minute clip to a folder called Saved Clips. If you enable it, Sentry mode continuously watches around the car and saves up to 10-minute clips if it senses motion. The clips used to fill up your flash drive and it would stop working until you cleaned some clips out, but now they just get overwritten if the drive fills up. So that's a nice update. They get saved to a folder called Sentry Clips. You can enable Sentry manually using voice control or from the icon at the top of the screen or from the app, but it's easiest just to leave it on automatic and it will work everywhere except for home, work, or favorites if you choose to exclude them. Since each minute of video is now 4 files at about 30 megabytes each, that hour loop of dashcam footage needs at least 7.2 gigabytes of space. But you're going to need more than that since every 10 minutes of saved clips and Sentry Clips also adds an additional 1.2 gigabytes. So 32 gigabytes can store around 4 hours of footage, or 128 gigabytes can store around 16 hours of footage. For storage, you can use any old flash drive or even a solid state drive. But most of them are not optimized for dashcam duty and their warranties specifically exclude dashcam use. And yes, that includes even SanDisk flash drives. I use a Samsung Pro Endurance 128GB micro SD card because Samsung uses a different type of memory in these cards that's made for dashcam duty. They even rate it for 43,800 hours of continuous use, and nobody can top that. Since the car uses a USB connector, not a micro SD slot, I've been using this card reader to connect the card and then use the USB connector to connect to the car. This also has connectors for USB-C, which is great because I can connect straight into my Android phone or MacBook. And it does have a Lightning connector also. But unfortunately, this Lightning connector doesn't work with the Files app in iOS 13. I'm sure Apple has reasons for it, but the bottom line is that the only thing that works with the Files app in iOS 13 is a Apple USB 3 connector. Once I found out this Lightning connector wasn't going to work with iOS 13, I tried to find a different adapter. And after going through 8 or 9 of them, I learned that this one actually has a superpower. You see, iPhones can only put out 100 milliamps through this Lightning connector to power accessories. So if I use anything else that I've tried in here, I get this message: cannot use accessory. This accessory requires too much power. And that's been the case with every flash drive, every micro SD reader, and solid state drive that I've tried. But this one, by whatever magic, it stays under that limit and it works just fine. You can go into the Files app and it shows up right there in USB storage. So, pretty cool. I wish I didn't have to have a stupid extra lightning connector that I can't even use, but if you can find another reader that works with this thing without using too much power, leave it in the comments because I want to know about it. The alternative is this does have a lightning connector for power. So what you can do is connect power to it and then connect your device. And then it will work with just about anything. So solid state drives, whatever, seems to work fine at that point. So for other storage options, you can use an SSD. It will record the videos just fine, and you can get them with massive storage sizes. But it will not work with this without supplying external power to it. And I just don't want to do that. I want it to be easy to just pop it out of the car, pop it in the phone, and not need to connect anything else. Using this adapter is already one step more than I want to use. SanDisk also sells a iXpand flash drive with a lightning connector. It's the same boat. It will not work with iOS 13 in the Files app. They also have a Wi-Fi flash drive, but I don't really want to use that because Wi-Fi is slower than a wired connection, and it doesn't even connect to your home Wi-Fi. You have to unplug it from the car and then use their app to connect it to the phone, and I just don't want to deal with all that. Those flash drives also don't use high endurance memory. And I mean, realistically, what are the chances that the flash drive is going to fail at the same time as you get in an accident or you get vandalized or something like that? It's probably pretty small. But that is the one job that this is supposed to do. So I want to give it the best chance it can of working, which is high endurance memory that's made for dash cams. So for software, ideally you'll want to be able to quickly review the video from all 4 cameras, scrub through it in time, and also be able to delete it. And even better is to be able to format the card in FAT32 and create the TeslaCam folder with no computer needed. And iOS 13 is nearly there now. The one thing you can't do is format the flash drive. You can create the card, and we have some good apps to be able to review the video, but you're going to have to use another device to do the initial format. So to format, we'll connect the card reader to a computer, in this case a MacBook. We'll wait for it to load. Now open Disk Utility and go to that card. I'm going to right click and erase. So you can just give it a name, and you want to choose MS-DOS FAT. And then erase. Alright, so process is complete. Now you could go ahead and go into Finder and go into it and create a new folder here. But just to show that you can do it, we'll do it on the iPhone. So I'm going to eject, and we're done with you. So over on the iPhone, let's plug it in. All right, and we're in the Files app here. Go to TeslaCam and see there's nothing in it right now. So you want to just kind of tap and hold for a second. Hit New Folder. TeslaCam. All one word, capital T, capital C. Done. So now we have the TeslaCam folder. So we will remove this and connect it to the car. And we should pop up on the screen here an icon. And that means that that TeslaCam drive is formatted correctly and working. So then you tap that icon and get a little red dot on it. That means it is now recording. So good to go. At some point in the future, you will want to review the footage on it. So what you'll do then is tap and hold until you kind of see it flash a little bit, and then give it a second to stop writing and it will turn gray again. that means you can now remove it. So there are two apps right now on the App Store that really work with this setup. They are Cam Viewer and Dash View. Cam Viewer has been around a little bit longer and it has a few more features, but Dash View has a little bit nicer interface and it has one killer feature. So here you have Save Clips, Sentry Incidents, and Recently Recorded. Save Clips are clips that you've manually saved from Dashcam. Sentry Incidents are automatically triggered incidents from Sentry. And then Recently Recorded is that 1 hour loop. So the killer app here is in Sentry Incidents, the way it shows these thumbnails of what actually caused the event to happen. Now, some of them don't show anything, and that may be because the event was triggered by a different camera. But like this one, it's obvious that a person walked in front of the car. And on any of these, I can tap on it and hit Jump to Incident, and it will show me what triggered it. Like in this case, it looks like it was that truck driving behind the car. So that significantly reduces the amount of time it takes to go through these Sentry incidents, and I really, really like it. Well, I hope this helps get through some of the many options that are out there. I'll leave links in the video description for the different products and software that I used. If you want to help educate the population that they should not screw with Tesla vehicles because they're always being recorded, we have some sweet shirts on our livingtesla.com website, and under the merch link, like this one is Sentry Mode, making vandals famous since 2019. So I thought it was pretty clever. But otherwise, thanks for watching.